Hi, class. I want to go over with you Module 1 assignment sheet so that you can have a better understanding of what I'm asking that you do and a better understanding of how I'm setting up the resources for you to be able to have. What you're going to want to do is go over here to Course Documents, and then once you click on Course Documents, click on Module 1 assignment sheet. That should download for you, and all you need to do is click on it and get started. Where it says put your name here, please do put your name there, and then jump right in. The first part is Section 1, and each one of these sections are going to be fairly formulaic in that I'm going to use the 5 E's in my lesson plan. So what I'm trying to do is model a good lesson plan strategy for you in each one of these 10 modules. So Section 1 is always going to be engagement, meaning what are you going to be doing in the lesson that's going to grab your students' attention, that's going to pull them in, that's going to say, hey, this is really cool. I want to learn more about this. And this engagement can be anything that you can find on the internet, anything that you find that, on a television or any type of resource. And it could be a hands-on resource. It doesn't have to just be electronic. But any type of resource that you can find that you would bring into the class to engage your students' attention, to grab their attention. Now what I've got is I've got a resource right here, and then if you just press the control button, that little finger will point to it. And if you want to click on it, the first resource that I want to share with you is a resource by Steve Spangler, and he does a section called Sick Science. Sick in that it's really cool science. And he's got literally hundreds of different short 1-minute demonstrations that are surprising and interesting that you can do. Maybe you even want to have your students look through those and then bring to class the things that they want to do. The other good thing is they're fairly inexpensive. Now, he also has a section that he used to do, make a lot of appearances on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and he kind of tours nationwide. He's out of Colorado, but he's got a lot of nice resources on there, so if you want to take a look at those, I think that you'll be pleased whenever you're going to be doing a discrepant event. He's a great resource here for that. So if you go to YouTube, look up Sick Science or Steve Spangler Science, hundreds of great discrepant events. Tells you the materials, tells you what's going to happen, and many times he gives you a very detailed explanation as to what's happening. So that's my resource, but your resource, you find it and look through these guiding questions and try to answer these. What is the resource? What does it do? What grade levels might it serve? And how might a teacher use this in a lesson? So put that information right here in this brown box and share with the class 3 to 4 sentences here in the class. And then if you would, please go to Course Documents, and then where it says Discussion Board, if you would also include your resource right there where it says Engagement Resource. That way the class can see your great resource and we can share with each other. And so when we're done, each one of our 5, there's 6, 7 students in this class times the 10 modules, that'll be quite a bit, 50, 60, 70 different resources that we can use from each other. So I think this will be a really nice thing for us to have. So put your response here and also put it on Blackboard so we can all enjoy the material that you've brought to us. Okay, Section 2, Exploration. What I'm wanting you to do here is I'm wanting you to choose your own discrepant event. The discrepant event that I've got here is supported. The information about discrepant events is right here. It says click here for supporting research about discrepant events. But a discrepant event is like a science demonstration where it's a surprise to your students. And they're like, what was that? I thought it was going to do this, and it did this. All right, you've got your students thinking. You've got that teachable moment, and you're going to use that teachable moment to present the concepts in a mind that's open, that's curious, that is wanting to learn. So the neat part about a discrepant event is you've got your students in a place where they're ready to learn. They want to know the reason why this science demonstration that you just did was so amazing to them. This is a ping pong ball and a hair dryer. I've done these demonstrations with my kids, and we've enjoyed doing these science things, so that was kind of like a family togetherness activity. So thanks for watching, thanks for indulging us on that. But we had a lot of fun in putting these science demonstrations together for you. Take a look through these, and you can see what my demonstration is. And then what I would like you to do is I would like you to select a discrepant event. Steve Spangler got hundreds. Maybe you've seen all kinds of other science demonstrations, but make it a science demonstration that has kind of a surprise to it. Students think one thing is going to happen, but instead something else is going to happen. Or they don't think anything's going to happen. And wow, surprise, something really cool happens. So take a look at those, pick one, and fill out the information. First of all, the science standards, SE science standards, what materials, and here less is more. Less expensive is better, because the last school that I taught at 5 years ago, it was a middle school. I had $100 budget. That's wrong, $150 budget for 100 students. So each student had $1.50 that I could spend on them. So I get it. I get that money's tight. So have your discrepant events be something that's inexpensive. Something that you can have several of your students do or demonstrate. It doesn't just have to be you, it can be your students too. But have that be something that's inexpensive and something that's fun and, of course, safe. We're going to talk about safety as well. Procedures. That's what you're going to do to perform this discrepant event, what the students may think happened, and what actually happens and why. Now, the why, if you want to go to Google and get a good explanation, I'm just fine with that, but please do include that in your references. Include that Google page where you got that information. So probably you're going online, you're Googling discrepant events, or you're Googling Essex Science. That's just fine. Go to those web pages, use those web pages, but also cite those web pages. I have not, there's some discrepant events where I have made modifications, but I can't say that any discrepant event that I've done has been my own. So I cite those discrepant events. I cite where I got those ideas, and then you can go and do what you want to, go different directions for your students or for your grade levels. So put all that information there. I think that you're going to enjoy Section 2, Exploration, creating your own discrepant events. All right, Section 3, Explanation. Here's where we go into the meat of the class. There's some text here, there's some videos here. Read through this material. Keep your own thoughts in mind. You may even want to make notes on the side. And then when you're ready, respond to these guiding questions. And I think here I've got 5 guiding questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, and tell me in 5 to 8 sentences your reaction to those readings. If you don't answer all 5 questions, that's okay. If you've gone past 8 sentences and you've only got through the first 3 questions, that's fine. Thoughtful answers are very important, and I'm glad that you're doing those. So yeah, these are just guiding questions. Use those as a pathway to get you to that 5 or 8 sentences response. Next is elaboration, and what we're going to do here is for this elaboration, I would like you to make a introductory presentation about yourself. Now, this could be something that you may already be doing at a parent night or the first day of school or something like this, but I think it's important that students know about you a little bit as a teacher so they can get some background, so they can know where you're coming from. When I tell my students, I've had this experience in science, and this is where I'm coming from, and, I've only spent, this is my 5th year in higher education. I've spent most of my time in middle level, secondary, and elementary classrooms. So that's really my basis, where I'm coming from. That's helps them understand my background. So as you're making this introduction, include details that will help your students understand where you're coming from, your love for science, and why this class is going to be a really good class. So take a look at this outline. Your name, your background, your hobbies, your teaching experience, your goals, and why this class is going to be amazing. If you want to do this in PowerPoint, that's just fine. I'm happy with PowerPoint. However, if you'd like to take this to the next level and use a Prezi or a haiku deck or another type of presentation software online resource, I applaud you for that. And I have given you some sample Prezis, some sample haiku decks, and some resources that will get you up to speed if you want to try those things. So if you want to try them, yay, good for you. Keep up the good work. If you want to just do a PowerPoint, that's fine, but let each one of your resources that you use meet the objectives 1 through 6 there, so that you can have a good presentation for your whatever it is, your first day of classes, parent night, wherever you want to do an introduction. Because I think it's nice when students know more about us, they can connect more with what we're doing. Okay. The brown box, if you've done a Prezi or a haiku, all you need is a web page, and it will show you how to make that connection, that web page connection. And if you need some more help, I'm happy to help you too, or those videos will show you how to do that. And if you've just done a PowerPoint, that's fine, but also post your PowerPoint with module number 1. So you're going to have module number 1. You're going to save this document that you're just doing right here, and you're going to post that, and you're also going to post your Prezi introduction. So you're going to have 2 posts. You potentially will have 2 posts when you do your posts to the assignment section on Blackboard. All right, finally, section number 5 is evaluation, assess understanding. You're probably very familiar with this, but this is a great formative assessment tool, one that I've often used, and it's a KWL. What do you know, what do you want to know, and what have you learned? So what I would like you to do is go through at least 3 of the previous 4 sections within the chart and give me a few things that you know, a few things that you want to know, and a few things that you've already learned. So fill in this KWL sheet, and that is your Section 5 evaluation. And technically, that is the last section. However, there is an alternative assignment here. It's the Science Mystery section. It is a mystery where I go through and I do a little video and I make a demonstration, a science demonstration. But I don't give you the explanation as to why. You can Google that explanation, Google it, and then you take that explanation and you can copy it here. That's just fine. But do cite the source where you got that information from. If you successfully complete all 10 of the science mysteries, because there are 10 science mysteries, and none of these are hard, y'all. These science mysteries are kind of like discrepant events where I don't give you the explanation, where you can go and find that explanation. So it's not intended to be hard at all. It's intended to be elementary, geared for your students so that they can have science mysteries too. So maybe you want to include a science mystery in your class, maybe a science mystery of the week or something like that. This is just my idea for you to consider. But if you do give me all 10 science mystery explanations, you can skip either one of the 2 parts of the final. Part 1 is a final project, Part 2 is a final report. And so that these together will make up your final. And what I'm saying is if you do each one of the science mysteries, you can skip the project or you can skip the report. And so you would only have to do the other one of those. So you can decide